Today we are working on titration. Titration is one of my favorite lab procedures ever, which you only hear out of the mouth of a chemist, never really a student. But anyways, here we go, titration. Titration is the process of combining acid and base because you know the pH, you know the concentration of one but not the other. So it's like solving a mystery a little bit. And this is done by a neutralization reaction, which we already learned about, is combining acid and base until your solution is neutral or results in a pH of 7. So titration, it's a lot of process. So I'm going to read this and it probably won't make sense until you look at the picture. So let's say I have an acid and I don't know anything about it except for how much I have. So I measured maybe 50 milliliters and I put it in an Erlenmeyer flask. So if I want to learn more about this acid, I can take a base that I know the concentration of, and I could take those 50 milliliters of acid, put them in an Erlenmeyer flask, and add a few drops of indicator. I'm usually going to use phenolphthalein because it changes color right around neutral. So it's a good one to use for titration. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a burette, which is kind of like an upside down graduated cylinder. It works by gravity feed. And I'm going to know everything about this base. I know the concentration of the base, and I am going to use the burette and I'm going to open up the stopcock until the base is going to drop very slowly. And at the same time, I'm going to kind of swirl my acid Erlenmeyer flask that's underneath. I'm going to catch the base and I'm going to keep an eye on the indicator color. So once my indicator has turned a very light pink, because I don't want to go too fast, I'm going to close the stopcock, and that's when my solution is just about neutral. I'm going to look at the burette and calculate how much base had been dropped, and based on that information, I can figure out the concentration of my acid or how much hydrogen ion is in there. So here's a picture to help it make a little bit more sense. So here, this is my acid, and I don't know the concentration of my acid. There is a tiny bit of indicator in here, but it's still colorless. That's why it's white inside of there. This burette has a base that I do know the concentration of, and if I were to read this burette, I know that I am starting at 10 milliliters here, which is not really how much is in here because it's actually 40. This is a 50 milliliter burette filled to filled to 10, meaning that this is 40 milliliters in here in total. So I'm going to open the stopcock and I'm going to drip the base into this Erlenmeyer until I get a nice light pink color. This light pink is telling me that I am very close to neutral, meaning that I have just about an equal amount of hydrogen ion as I do hydroxide. So once this is a very light pink, I'm going to shut this stopcock and I'm going to figure out by subtracting how much base needed to be added to this flask in order to make it neutral. So this now is at 25. So I dropped from 10 to 25. That's 15 milliliters. Easy enough. And then I can use this equation to figure out exactly the molarity of my acid. So this is the titration or dilution equation. The molarity of my acid times its volume will be equal to the molarity of my base times its volume. So let's say I had I'm going to do the math right now. If I had 50 milliliters of acid and I don't know its concentration, and let's say I had a 1 molar solution of base and I used 15 milliliters of it, this is how I would set it up. Oh, this is backwards for you, so this is useless. The molarity of the acid times its volume is equal to the molarity of the base times its volume. Now, something important to remember here is I am assuming here that I have a monobasic base. probably sodium hydroxide, because that is one of the more common ones. If I were to use calcium hydroxide instead, I would need double the amount of acid in order to neutralize this. So it does sort of matter what your solution is, but then you can just do some algebra to solve these. So once, I think the titration part of it is more difficult than the math. It's this. So you may get questions that give you data from this, and then it's a matter of plugging it in. Your algebra skills should serve you pretty well here. It's mostly going to be extracting the data and plugging it in. And then that weird case where you have a diprotic acid or you have a dibasic base, because that needs to be taken into account. Now, if you have a diprotic acid and a dibasic base, technically it doesn't matter because that's a 2-to-2. So it reduces to a 1-to-1. But something to be mindful of. So that's really it for titration. You're trying to solve a chemistry mystery, and you do that by dropping the base. Now, you can do this completely backwards if you wanted to. You can put acid in the burette if you don't know the concentration of your base and drop the acid. That would be fine. The end point, which I talked about earlier, the end point is when your solution has been neutralized, and it is important to do your titrations very slowly so that you don't go past the end point, because then you have to start over. Any student who has done a titration, I'm sure, has experienced firsthand or just by sharing a lab the stress that comes from passing an endpoint. So do your titrations nice and slow. That's it. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I will do my best to get back to you.